Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to Social Studies class for grade 9. Today inshallah we're going to complete our lesson. We started previous class, we started our lesson about United Arab Emirates trade with India, China and Japan. And we stopped yeah, the point trade surplus and trade deficit. And we said if the country has import more exports, so this means that the country has trade deficit. If the country export things, sell things more than buying things, this is called trade surplus. Let's do the exercise. Here. So, first, 3. From your review of the charts of UAE exports and imports to and from China, look up the total value in US dollars and put down the value in the chart below. Then determine whether the UAE has a surplus or deficit in its trade with each China and India. In the last column, use a calculator to convert the value in US dollars to Arab Emirates dirhams by multiplying the US dollars by 3.67. Let's do this. Remember that billion is how many zeros? 9 zeros. So UAE exports to China. From where we're going to bring the value? Go back to the charts. Look here. Total of the imports and total of the exports. Let's see. The UAE has $11.4 billion, while the UAE has 28.6 billion this is the value of imports from China. Now let's convert this to UAE dirhams. How we're going to convert it? This is in US dollars. We're going to multiply this with 3.67. I did it here for you. It's 41.83 billion here, 104.96 billion dirhams. Now, let's see, before doing all of this, which is more, the imports or the exports? It's the imports. So the UAE is buying things from China more than selling. So this is deficit or surplus? It's deficit. How we're going to know this? How we're going to calculate this? We're going to subtract imports from exports. So we're going to subtract the imports from the amount of this. So we're going to say 11.4 billion dirhams minus 28.6, it's gonna be minus 63.13 billion dirhams. So this minus indicates that there is a shortage. So the UAE is buying things more than selling. Let's see UAE exports to India. Let's go back to the chart and check. This is the total. This is the total of the export, and that is the total of the. They are somehow similar to each other. Closer, yeah. This one 28, and the other one is 22.1. Okay, let's do it. So exports, imports without looking here. 28 imports, 22.1 billion export. Which one is more? Imports are more than exports, so UAE is buying from India more than selling, so it's deficit. We're going to multiply it with 3.67, so it equals to 81 billion, and here 100.1. point 102.676. Now we're going to subtract imports from exports. We're going to have this, and the minus indicates that there's a shortage, so it's deficit. So please, I want you to understand this and try to practice it at your home. It's an easy, it's not that much hard. And without like calculating, we can now know by comparing the imports to exports. And you can use um, your friend drawing to uh, make it easier for you to understand. Let's start now with lesson 4. It's the same idea, but it's speaking about, do you remember when we said that this lesson is speaking about exports, right? This lesson mainly is about exports. The other lesson, lesson 4, we're going to learn about imports. United Arab trade with United Arab Emirates trade with Japan and South Korea. Let's start. This lesson will learn about the major products and services that the UAE makes and exports to other countries. Exports, imports, crude petroleum, refined petroleum, trade balance, trade surplus, trade deficit. They are the same vocabularies. Now, let's see. Where does the UAE import its goods from? Its goods from. Our things are from where? We're going to see. Number one is, I know they don't want us to put them in order. They want us only to write the percentage. Let's see Turkey. Where is Turkey? It's 5.2. Japan. Where is Japan? 4%. Then South Korea. Where is South Korea? South Korea here. 3.1. Then we have Hong Kong. It's in China also, but they put it like separately. 3.4 because it's a very important industrial port in China. Germany 7%. So the first one is China. China and India are the same. Then Germany. Okay, let's carry on. Let's see, it's the same activity. See the products. What does Japan export to UAE during 2017? Japan export. So things that we use or we bring or the UAE brought from Japan or usually brings from the UAE. So first one is, what do you think? Cars, of course. Cars are 47, delivery trucks 8.6, vehicle parts 4.9, rubber tires, so see the most of them are related to what? Vehicles things, right? Or cars, transportation things. Then iron pipes. Let's see import. What does Japan import from the UAE? The first one as usual is crude oil. Crude petroleum, petroleum gas, refined petroleum. So everything is related to oil and gas. Let's see here. What does South Korea export to the UAE? Cars, of course. We have a lot of cars that are from or made in Korea. 10%. Vehicle parts 7.7%. Rolled tobacco 7.6%. Refined petroleum 6%. Video displays 4.8%. Video displays, most of them are made in China, and here we have another one, Korea. Okay. Let's see, what does South Korea import from the UAE? Of course, as usual, crude petroleum 51%, refined petroleum 25%, gold 13%, and raw aluminium it's 2.7%. Trade deficit and trade surplus, it's the same exercise that we did. Japan exports to the UAE and Japan imports from the UAE. From the chart, let's go back and check. We have them here. Here's the total. And here is also the total. Let's calculate. So 6.97, 18.8. Now, is it surplus or deficit? Let's do it. Japan export to the UAE. Be careful. So Japan exports to the UAE. So we want the things that related to the UAE. If Japan export to the UAE, so it's imports of the UAE, right? Japan imports from the UAE. So this is the exports of the UAE. Okay? So this is the exports of the UAE because Japan is what? Is it receiving or giving? No, it's receiving. Here, according to Japan, this is the received amount to Japan. But for the UAE, this is the export. So exports of the UAE are 18.8. Imports of the UAE, imports of the UAE are exports of Japan. It's 6.97. Which one is more, imports or exports? Exports of the UAE are more, so it's a surplus. Here again, how we're going to convert to UAE dirhams, we're going to multiply, it with 3.76. Okay, this point I want to explain it again so you can understand here, because this one important, because not everything is going to be direct, right? Have to understand also here. So Japan imports to the UAE. For the UAE, those are imports. But if we are like Japanese citizens, this is for us is export, right? Okay, now we're living in the UAE. Let's say exports from export, this person is gonna say, oh, this is our exports. But this person, let's say this is the person in Japanese, this person is gonna say, your exports are our imports, because Japanese people are taking these things. Okay, I wish you understand this. I wish the point is understood for you. Now it's surplus. Subtract the imports from exports. If we subtract it, be careful, we're speaking about the UAE, not things related to Japan. So if we subtract it, we're gonna find that it's not minus, it's plus. So this means that it's surplus for the UAE. For this question, I want you to do it by your own. Okay, I'm gonna show you only the final answer. It's gonna be surplus, but I want you to do it by your own. And I wish it's clear for you. If you have any question, feel free to ask me using Horizon portal. Thank you everyone for listening. Wish you all the best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.